Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday, June 3rd. And the thought for this morning is just this. What are you praying for? Might seem obvious about the things that we should be praying for, and it's not hard to figure out what those are. Things that are troubling us in the country and health and all those kinds of things. But if all we're doing is praying for relief from the various pressures that we're facing in our life, we're missing the real important things. Because our biggest issue is not the removal of all these things that are in front of us, no matter how pressing they are and how imminent and how troubling they are. There's something greater than that going on. Jesus is in these discussions with the Pharisees, and part of that is recorded in Matthew 12, and they're giving him, they're challenging him and doubting him. So after he proclaims to them that he is even greater than Solomon, he makes this statement: when an evil spirit comes out of a man, it goes through places seeking rest and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. When it arrives, it finds the house unoccupied, swept clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they go in and they live there. And the final condition of that man is worse than the first. And this is how it will be for this wicked generation. See, what Jesus is saying there is if all you do is try and clean up your mess and just leave it that way without restoration, without being where we need to be before God. He's talking to the Pharisees. If all you do is just try and get things in order and get rid of the demons, get rid of your problems, and you have this nice clean house where that problem no longer exists, if God isn't there, if the Spirit of Christ isn't there, if we are not broken in humility, if the law of God is not there, if a brokenness and spirit of repentance is not there, then even though we've cleaned up nicely, it's going to be worse. And so we have these cycles where we get over things and we think we're better. So if we stop this particular moment of unrest and violence, we think we're going to get better. Well, having lived through the situation in 1968, I know that seems like centuries ago, and it's not really full centuries, but it's a long time. And I can attest to that. We got over the problem then, but we didn't really replace anything good in the house. And so it's been there building vacant and full of things, and now it's back again. And possibly even greater level than it was in 68. The problem is not simply racism. The problem is not simply injustice. The problem is not simply people who are being wrong. And it's not simply the elimination of a virus. The problem needs to be people who are broken before God, and a church who is willing to call itself and our surrounding communities to repentance. And then when the house is clean and it's replaced with things, and the Spirit of God dwells there, and the people of God are pursuing the things of God rather than just the elimination of problems, that's what protects the house. But if all we're about is the elimination of problems, I don't care if it's on a national level or a personal level, if all you want to do is get rid of your problem so you can be okay again, you know what? You're not going to be okay again. If we go back to the way it was, we will only return again to what we have now. We don't just need a clean house. We need a house that is filled with people and things and beliefs and desires that bring honor to God, and a heart that wants to honor God. That's what Jesus is warning against. And it's a wicked generation that only wants to solve the problems and not be broken before God and live in a way that honors Him. So when you pray, don't pray simply for things to be better. Pray for God to open your heart to repentance, and then open the hearts of your community and your nation to repentance. And that's the thought for today. We'll see you tonight. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.